Hello and good morning. Welcome to Open Friday Coffee. I am your host, Janine Bolon, and I say host or facilitator because this is an awesome community. And if you don't show up at least once or twice on this, I feel sorry for you, because if you're running your own business, if you're writing a book, if you're a heart-based entrepreneur that you want to serve a bigger community than yourself or your locality, we can help you. Why do I say we? Because I just facilitate this group. This group is amazing all on its own. We will be asking you a little bit later, what can we do for you? But for starters, just a little bit about me. I have been in radio and broadcasting since 1982, where you could have heard my dulcet tones as I said, welcome to KDFN, KOEAFM, serving the current River Valley with information and entertainment. So I've been in broadcasting for just 1 or 2 years and have a little bit of talent in that regard. If you need voiceover work, yeah, I could do it for you, but I'll recommend other people because I kind of got out of that gig. Why? Because I decided to go to college and become an analytical biochemist. So from 1982 to 1997, I was one of those crazy chemists who was a bench chemist that was into automation and robotics, and people were terrified. The robots were going to take over science. We would never see the light of day. And we were using RS-232 cables and Quick Basic. So that's the dinosaur era that I came from. But I was in the pharmaceutical industry for quite some time, but I dropped out. Why? I became a mom and I saw what it took to be a mom. And being a mom of 4 kids, I dropped out of corporate America to homeschool these lovely souls. And we've had a lot of fun together. And today is kind of an interesting day for me. One of my sons took off to Virginia. And so people are like, oh, you're about ready to be an empty nester. I said, what, did you not see what happened in 2019? Or was I the only one that went through 2020? It's like they're starting to branch back out after that 3-year. Anyhow, I went back to college in 2005 to get my master's in education. And one of the interesting things was they took my thesis and said, Janine, you need to make this a book. So I made money. It's not just for rich people. And then I was starting to get phone calls because they saw me as a financial first responder. And so that was what kickstarted an analytical biochemist, stay-at-home mom, becoming a financial coach. You can see the dots, right? Anyhow, so I ended up writing 4 more books during 2005. And I thought that was appropriate because the scientist in me was honoring Einstein, because Einstein's miracle year was 1905 and we were celebrating the 100-year anniversary. So 2005 was a very cool year for me. In 2015, I brought it all online. So I started this crazy concept of having an online course. And people would argue with me about they did not want to download yet another application onto their computer to talk to me. And I was like, Zoom is great. I promise you it's friendly. You'll love it. Now, 2020, everybody joined my party. I love having you guys with me. And I've written 14, I think I'm up to 15 books. Jeff keeps telling me I've got another book out. So, one at a time, we'll just keep rolling with that. I had to go back to broadcasting. And so, I started off as an audio blogger. And that was in 2016. And Kellogg's and their Fiber One bar were just coming out, and they were my first sponsor. And it's like a potato chip. Once you have one, you have to have more. So I have 4 podcasts now. And then we went on to YouTube because we took all this content that I was building and creating, and we put it all onto YouTube so people would have access to it. And then we got picked up. And then we got not only sponsored, but we also got syndicated. And so we started doing Monday's Money Tip online. And so a lot of those audio files are now up on the YouTube channel for you. And I ended up building a team of 15 people. We are known as White Glove Broadcasting because we do a concierge service. We're going to have to add White Glove publishing because we have a publishing arm now with Jeff and his company, and we will talk about that in just a minute. Currently in press, I have 3 books. If you would like to be a beta reader to publish Profitability, we will make sure that you get that link. The other 2 books are too far in press to be able to have beta readers. And this is my current passion project. This is the project I'm really excited about because I got pissed off. I was in a mastermind. I'll tell you later about it. And I got so pissed off at what they were telling everybody. I said, what we're going to do is we're going to run our own conference, right, Jeff? And Jeff said, yeah, we're going to run our own conference and we're going to invite authors. We're going to teach them how to make money based on their books. And so that was that's the big focus, is how to make money as an author. And we've already got our first speaker, Yvonne DeVita. Want to say thank you so much for her coming on and being with us. And now I will open the floor up and stop talking and listen to what you lovely people have to say. And we're going to start first with Joe, then Rich, then Doreen, then Jeff. That's kind of the order we're going to go in. And first of all, good morning, Joe. And how can we, this beautiful brain trust of people, help you?
Well, good morning. I'm doing new stuff with animation, video animation, and some of the concepts are new to me. And for example, they talk about setting tags from the beginning of an action to the end of the action. And I haven't quite gotten a grasp of that yet. So anybody that has any sense of awareness that could help me out on that, I would really appreciate.
Anybody here have video animation skills or know of somebody in your network that does have video animation skills? Okay. I will reach out to my network. Joe, I just thought surely somebody in this group does because we all do sorts of video, but okay. So Joe needs video animation skills. We'll get that set up for you. When we send out our newsletter to our Open Friday Coffee, I'm going to start having, can you help? And then I'm start asking people if they can help out various people. Okay.
Excuse me, another ask then. I know I'm cheating on this. I didn't see how I set up to your newsletter. Is there a protocol or a link?
It's what we send out at the end of every Friday. We'll send you guys a little email. It's not technically a newsletter because I don't want, I know how many I have to unsubscribe from. I don't want to do that to you. So when you show up to an Open Friday Coffee, you get an email.
Okay.
If you don't show up or sign up for it, you don't get it.
Fair enough.
I'm trying to be kind.
Makes sense. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. So that's what I mean by my newsletter. All right, there you go. I'm glad you asked the question. Hey, Rich, good morning. How can we help you?
Good morning. A pound of 20s would be helpful.
Of course, we make that assumption.
You know, I don't come here with for wanting. I come here because I enjoy the energy. I enjoy the people I meet. I would have never met Jeff if I hadn't known you. And I come here just to be a part of a really great chunk of people. Okay. Good energy and good everything. So
okay. Well, and the other thing is I'm going to call on Rich in a little bit after we go through everybody the first time through. Rich gives us our 1-minute design tip. And then sometimes Matt will pop on and he gives us our 1-minute tech tip. If you're interested in giving a tip that you think would be helpful to the rest of the community, definitely reach out to me, email me, let me know what that is, and we'll give you 1 minute. We sometimes give you 2 to give us a tip of the week because we're all busy entrepreneurs. We don't want you to like go on and on. Just give us the tip. If it's appropriate to our business, then we'll call you or, get in touch with you. Okay. Wonderful. Mark, great to have you with us. And Jill, lovely to see you both. We're going to go with Doreen, Jeff, and then Dawn. So Doreen, hello, good morning. It's great to see you again, my friend.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. But Janine, I have on my calendar noted dates that I'm supposed to be doing something for the authorpreneur, and I have no information about what I'm supposed to do next. I'm one of the speakers, but I think I'm supposed to send out information to my list. And so that's why I'm up today.
That's correct. And the issue is the swipe copy is not quite ready yet, and you will be receiving it next week. After doing some extensive research, we found that most of the registrants don't start showing up until 3 weeks before. So we're giving ourselves next week to firm up on the swipe copy, and then all of our speakers will be getting that. But we're still interviewing speakers. And so that is the next step. Yeah. Good. So that's the next step for you, is that you will be receiving information on that. Okay.
Sit tight.
Sit tight, hon. I got you. But it's great. I love the fact that everybody's reaching out and going, when do we get it? When do we get it? Because you want people to be excited about it. But we've done a lot of research. And if we start hitting people's inboxes with it now, we'll lose momentum. And so what we do is we wait for 3 weeks. Thanks, Mark. I love it that you're like, yeah, that's right. I got it. Yeah. It's just, that's the way the internet is now. It used to be, Doreen, you and I were having to put stuff out 2 months ahead of time, and then 6 weeks. And then, and that's not the system anymore. The system has changed. So, okay. But we'll be glad to help you out with that. And if you want to send me an email that says, Janine, just don't forget me for swipe copy, I'll make sure you're at the top of the list. Okay. All righty. And then you've heard us mention this guy, Jeff, or Canadian A. When Jeff and I first started collaborating, we really didn't quite know how we could serve each other. We were both power networkers and we didn't quite know how we could serve one another's businesses. And then both of our businesses exploded over 2020, what with people connecting with us and seeing us as authorities. And so what we're doing is I am the podcast, broadcast, and authorpreneur arm, whereas Jeff is the publication. If you are bookless, contact him. And so what we're going to do is we're building a program together that's Authorpreneurs HQ. And he also has his segment. And so what we're going to do is we're going to help newbie authors as well as authors that have multiple books, how to go about getting programs so that you can start making revenue on those books rather than just trying to sell more books, which, as we know, low profit margin. So good morning, Jeff. Anything else you want to add that I may have missed? And do you have something you need from the group?
Absolutely. And thank you, Janine. And I'm really excited to see what we do with this conference. My big ask of the group is I'm always looking for guests in the wellness space to be on my podcast. So if anybody's looking to, my audience is successful entrepreneurs who squandered their health while they were building their wealth, and now they want to invest their wealth to reclaim that health. So I have a great audience and I love meeting new people. So if anybody wants to be on the show, the link is in the chat.
Dawn happens to be in the wellness space. She and I were working when she was bookless. So good morning, Dawn. Tell me about your project, how you doing, and what is happening in your world.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
So Jeff, I'm totally in the wellness world. I've been in the yoga and meditation umbrella since 1998. So I have a few years under my belt. I'm also an Ayurveda wellness coach, still going to school for that to further educate myself so I can help guide people to feeling optimal, mind, body, spirit. I have an online presence. I actually commissioned my teenage kids to help me create an online platform in 2018. We started it, which was fabulous because who knew we would be in lockdown. And so now I just moved from the beach after being there for quite a while. And now I'm in a new place. And, you know, when you uproot yourself after being very, very comfortable, I'm in an uncomfortable place, but I'm super, super excited because it's forcing me to do things like this. I love a challenge and I love change. So I'm glad to be here, and Janine, it's always wonderful to hear your voice. And Jeff, I'll hook up with you.
Chat is you're on mute card. Don't worry, I'm not going to send you selling stuff. I just send you the you're on mute card, and I send you happy cards every once in a while. So thank you for reconnecting with me. Dawn was my very first author to come on to a podcast with me. I was new. And I just had one sponsor and she was my other sponsor. And so she was the very first commercial I ever did from a private enterprise. Up to that point, I'd always worked with corporations. You're a corporation, but you know, a corporation of one. And anyway, so Dawn was my very first one. And so you don't like to lose track of those people. They're important.
Gosh,
you kind of helped me build. So, and that was way back in the dark ages of 2016. So
great.
Thank you for being on the shows back then. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Pete, how are you doing? And then Mark, and then, oh, somebody shifted. Sorry, guys, things got shifted around. Okay, so Pete, Mark, Jill, and then Matt. So Peter, Golfer Pete.
Golfer Pete is all about golf. So we love people that think golf and talk golf and have to make money in golf. So if you'd love to be on the podcast, I'd love to have you. And I was in the North Carolina mountains this week in Murphy, North Carolina, not too far from Asheville.
And it's true, if you have clients or you have people that are hobby golfers, what have you, Pete is definitely interested in connecting with them. He's building a huge community. And you just moved down to Georgia, didn't you? Is that right?
Well, I've been down here.
You've been down here. Okay.
I moved to another location in Georgia, Kennesaw, Georgia, if anybody's ever heard of it.
Thanks for educating me. I have
So,
so many people moving around. I'm trying to keep track of you guys, but you guys are highly mobile. This global
Yes.
community, right?
Don't like to
I'm
stay
sorry,
in one place very long.
what subway do you take to get there?
I know.
Yes, we have a couple. They're wide open subway, not like the big cities.
Love you, Rich. Okay, Mark and then Jill. So Mark, how can we help you today?
Well, I'm looking for teachers to come into the Reset It program. So we've got 7 on board already. We're getting to, by the end of this year, we should be about 15. So I'm looking for other people that would like to teach the Reset It program to other people. So
Now,
that's
it's a certification program,
it's
right?
a certification program, yes.
Yeah, and that's what you have going on. All right, be glad to help you with that. What can we do to help Mark the person in the now?
In the now, just to be present with what we're doing right now. It's just a beautiful space. You put this space together a little bit like Richie. It's just beautiful to be part of it. It's nice to hear all the different people and their input, and their just to be present in the action. That's all it is.
Okay. Well, I like to leave it open for you, Mark.
Yeah, no,
because I
definitely.
know
It's
how
beautiful.
you
It's a beautiful
operate.
space. You know what?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful space. So I like being in beautiful spaces.
Okay, you got it, dude. Anytime. And then Jill, it is so nice to have you on Open Friday Coffee. Oh my gosh, Jill comes to me from WOW, as does Joe, Rich, Mark, Matt. They all are part of WOW, which is Juan Vida's group, and they come here on Fridays just to have a little bit smaller community, different kind of space. WOW is kind of like speed dating for business owners. You're in all these breakout rooms, you're meeting as many people as possible. This one I just kind of want to use as a brain trust of how can we help each other make more money. So Jill is all about the money because it goes to a really good cause. Talk to us about your nonprofit and what you're doing right now, Jill.
So we are a nonprofit 501c3, and we print t-shirts and do embroidery and sell promotional products. So basically anything with your name imprinted on it, we can do, but we're different than most because our merchandise changes lives. Our mission is to create jobs for people on the autism spectrum. So 58% of our employees have some kind of disability. And we show how great it is to have people who are neurodiverse on your team and still get the job done and get it done with, competitive prices and on-time deliveries. But instead of going to a big box person for your promotional products, it's coming, it may sound crazy, but now's the time to start thinking about Christmas. So I try to spread the word. And I'm really looking for people. I'm not trying to sell to you. I'm looking for other people to share our story so that we can get more business.
Okay. And so Jill, does that mean when you're looking for more people to share, do you want to get on podcast programs? What does that look like for you?
I'm anybody who's willing to listen to me, because I can talk a lot about the subject and about what we're doing here and how wonderful it is and how, they benefit from having a job because there's an 80% unemployment rate for people with disabilities. And I benefit from working with them because I come into work every day and somebody is guaranteed to make me smile. So any opportunities, whether introductions to other people, podcasts are good. I'm a good extemporaneous speaker. I can, tell a good story here about how we started and how we've become where we come to where we are, where we've been around for almost 12 years now. And we have 2 locations, and we also have a laundry service, a local laundry service. So we have jobs that are geared for people on the spectrum. We're not like Google, not looking for the rocket scientists who can focus on coding or other crazy stuff. Where if we're going to hire you to fold, then you're going to be the best t-shirt folder we ever had.
All right, I gotcha. Thanks, Jill. What we're going to do is in the chat, I'm going to give you an opportunity to be a part of our Entrepreneurs HQ. I always encourage people to vote with your dollars. So if you like what you hear, vote with your dollars and get your business cards, flyers, brochures, whatever, from a company that like, and trust. And Jill is somebody that is like that. What we'll do is that we'll put you on Entrepreneurs HQ as one of the bonus features of a verified vendor. We have what we call vendors who you're showing up to Open Friday Coffee. I know you, I trust you, and therefore I'll send out that message to my community. Will that be helpful?
That sounds amazing.
Okay, now there is a cost when you sign up. There's a $47 cost, but it's also for a 501c3. It's for Imagination Books that bring children's literature to disadvantaged children, and so that's why the $47. That's how I'm getting money to them. So other than that, we'll be glad to get you out your message out to that. And then anybody else? I think Jeff said he'd be happy to talk to you about neurospicy people.
Well, here's the thing. We have waiting lists of neurospicy people. I need people who are interested in expanding their corporate social responsibility and purchasing from a nonprofit, the same stuff that they need.
Okay, right. No, we gotcha. We gotcha. Okay. Now, as you as a person, you as Jill, I want you to think about, because I want to come back around to you, what can we do for you? Okay, you as a person. All right. And today we have Matt Roseman, who is going to help us with the 1-minute tech tip. Nice to see you. Come on board.
Hi.
Coming to us from Florida. Don't let the accent be.
Actually, right now, I'm not in Florida. I'm in Virginia right now.
Oh, you are? Okay, I can't keep track of you, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm going to be home. I'm going to be traveling back today to Florida, with all the layovers. And then I'm going to be home for a week, and then I'll schedule with you about the authorized vendor thing. Let's get back, and I can get my schedule, in tow here. And then I'm going away a week again to Baltimore. So right now things are cool.
Yes.
Yes. And so in terms of the tech talk, thank you for having me on. As always, you're a kindred spirit, and I appreciate, who you are, Janine, and all your kindness and generosity. And in that respect, I'm very much a humble Hebrew. So I am. So Rich would appreciate that. So anyway, besides the haughty, it's also the humbleness too. So
to let you guys in on the joke, Matt and Rich and I were in a breakout room and and we were talking blah, blah, blah. And Matt was like, I'm trying to work on my dating life. It stinks. So I'm at the gym, because we were like, what's going on back in your background? Because we're lifting weights. He's like, hey, just call me #Hebrew hottie. It stuck. Rich then started teasing him about it. So sorry, that's an inside joke. I thought it should come out into the big room. All right, Matt. 1-minute tech tip. Go.
Yeah, it's funny because Rich was like pulling a B-52s here at a Rock Lobster, which is hilarious. So in terms of the tech tips, I have a couple of interesting things to point out this week, which is also very positive. All these robocallers that have been hitting your phones. Well, guess what? Those bastards got a $300 million fine today. So I'm hoping that will sit there and help alleviate all the, the spam calls that we get, and help to block them or to eliminate them. Also, guess who's coming back besides Barbie and what was the other character that's coming back? I can't remember offhand. So Nokia is coming out with new phones again. Remember those from the 90s? So it's making a comeback. Just like all the 80s cartoons. And apparently Tesla has exaggerated their EV range on their cars. Big surprise there. So, apparently what they promise you, you're not what you're not what you're getting for, unfortunately. So in terms of the joke of the day, I'll throw that in there. I actually have a little bit of a story here to share. So in terms of joke, 2 kids are in a hospital, each lying on a stretcher next to each other outside of the operating room. The first kid leans over and asks, well, what are you in here for? The second kid says, I'm getting my tonsils out. I'm a little nervous. So the first kid says, well, you've got nothing to worry about. I had that done when I was 4. They put you to sleep. And when you wake up, they give you lots of Jell-O and ice cream. It's a breeze. Then the second kid asks, well, what are you in here for? And the first kid says, a circumcision. And then the second kid says, well, whoa, good luck, buddy. I had that done when I was born, and I couldn't walk for a year.
And thank you for the joke of the day.
Yes, exactly. That was the extended joke of the day. So in case you guys are having any technological trauma, trials, tribulations, tragedy, turmoil, or cirrus, I'll put my information in the chat. I'll be more than happy to help you get back into the 21st century. And thanks, Janine, for having me on, as always.
No problem. Matt is the guy who works on my computer because I have a beast. And when my beast starts misbehaving, he doesn't know. He teases me because my beast is 7 years old. But what he doesn't know is I retrofit the inside because I like the cool exterior. Anyway, So thank you very much, Matt, for helping me get up and rolling and rocking and rolling. Appreciate
you,
all
Janine.
of that. And then, so that's kind of everybody who is working with me or has been in my field of influence. So what we're going to do is go back around and chat with everybody about how we can actually help you as a brain trust. So I know, Joe, that you had the video, but I was curious, is there anything going on in your life at a personal level somebody can help you with or something like that?
Let me phrase that. Let me say this a backstory. Very few things will stop me with my mouth like, and you're very good at that. So.
You're welcome.
A learning curve for me also. And also I want to give a testimonial that listening to Matt share his humorous stories is a testimony how much we appreciate you, Janine, to be on show, knowing he's going to present again next week. His jokes. So I just want to share that thought with you guys.
Every week.
Every week, yes.
He's here every Friday.
Matt, my hat off to you for your consistency and your nerve. I'll give you credit for that. No, other than that, I've got nothing to offer. Thank or ask.
Well,
Go ahead,
thank
Matt.
you, Joe. I appreciate it. I mean, actually, my hat's already off, so I already beat you to it. So
This is a guy that calls me from the airport and says, hey, I have a layover. Do you have a few minutes? Let's talk about your computer. And so that's what I love about working with this community, is because when we have those spare minutes, somebody pops in our head, we call. We're like, hey, how can I help? What's it? That's what I like about this community so very much. Okay, Rich, you are not to be left or outdone. So as a joke, I used to call him the other Hebrew hottie. So go ahead and share with us our design tip for the day, my dear.
Well, first of all, you know, the worst part of Matt's joke is that I'm going to be repeating it later.
Sad indeed.
No, it's good. It's good. I was just having a conversation yesterday with somebody. We were talking about cheesy songs, cheesy humor. I said, if you take cheesy out of my life, what do I got left?
Just wine. Just the wine. That's what happens.
Now
I don't have a cow.
Now I'm Jewish, so I can say this. That what's the favorite Jewish wine? I want to go to Florida. So
I thought it was Better-Shevitz.
but we digress.
Yes.
So I got a branding tip for you guys this week. Who wants a branding tip? Say me.
Oh,
me,
I
me.
do. I do.
So my branding tip involves this. What is this I'm showing you? Jeff, you should be familiar with this. This is the table of contents for my book, my first book that I'm working on. And I'm almost done, by the way. It's coming to you, back to you soon, Jeff. Now, the reason I'm talking about this is that why am I writing a book? I'm writing a book because I want to have a business card on steroids. And I got those words exactly from Jeff and from Janine. And I'm beyond excited that I'm going to have something tangible. I never ever thought of myself as an author. And then I talked with Jeff and he was just like, well, he identified 3 or 4 books for me. And so when you have a book, when you say, do I know the subject? I wrote the book on it. What better branding than can you get for that? Can you have than that? So for all of those for you who don't ever think that you would be an author or could be an author or whatever, I highly recommend that you talk to Jeff. That's my branding tip for today.
Thank you very much. And that is true. It helps build authority, the authority platform, that sort of thing. So if you find yourself bookless, one of the nice things about Jeff and his program is the fact that you don't have to type it. He does it. He types it out for you. What you do is you get interviewed with him. And we have a program that we put together for those of you who rather do it yourselfers. We have a program that you're welcome to purchase and ask us about, where we took several hours and we talked about the 12-hour book, where you could write your book in 12 hours if you so chose. And then Jeff took a year out of his life and figured out how to upload and handle KDP for business owners like us. If you're not interested in being a #1 bestseller on any of those lists, as long as you're not interested in that and you're just using this book as a business card on steroids. He took a year out of his life. Thank you to Golfer Pete. Right there it is. That's your book. As long as you
No, that's ours.
That's ours. No, no, that's his.
No, that's
Oh, that's
y'all's.
ours. Oh my gosh, that's my.
Yeah.
So I didn't recognize it there for a minute.
Yes, that's a valuable book, but you don't want to do it yourself. You want to hire somebody.
And
Like
then
Jeff.
we train you on that 1 hour, how to upload it, then your PDF up to KDP. And then as you make changes, because books need changes, you can change them. And so Jeff only took a year out of his life to figure it all out. And he cranked it down to where he teaches it in 20 minutes. So that was worth the price of admission for me. Anyway, so for those of you who find yourself bookless, you're able to do that. Okay, Dr. Doreen, how are you doing and what can we do for you, my dear? What can this group do and help you with? Thank you. I didn't get to use my sign yet.
Yeah, listening to everybody. My book was already out a while ago before all this, but and speaking of branding, that's wonderful, Rich. I actually, when I started my business, it was about essential speaking, and I talk about essential speaking as speaking from the essence of who you are, and that's really not quite, you know, when people say, well, what is essential speaking? So now it's find your voice, change your life. And for 3 years, I've been doing a podcast and I interview people who have a backstory to their success. You know, it's not just, oh, I do this and I offer that and I can help people do this. It's like, well, what happened that you learned all that years ago? And so it's about more of the journey to find their voice. And so it's real life stories, all the way from people who have been horribly abused to those who have been trapped in a corporation and finally free themselves and get out there, but then go, oh my gosh, I have to speak up for myself. So I do have a podcast, Find Your Voice, Change Your Life. And I would love to invite anybody here. At the beginning of this year, year 3, I started charging $99 with Janine saying, yeah, look at how much I charge. So it's been a little bit, it's a little different now for me. I almost feel like I'm trying to sell my podcast, but still it's a wonderful opportunity to engage. Let's see, anything about the podcast. People say that I am really, it's unscripted. And that's what, Jill, you were talking about, how good you are, just spontaneous. And so I don't ask questions that are prepared. We just get on and dance in the moment.
Okay, thanks so much for offering a guest spot for people and letting us know that it's a pay to play, because it takes a lot of time. I know for every hour of content that I record, there are 3 hours of editing that have to happen behind that. And that's before we start uploading it to the 112 platforms and the 64 public radio stations. So there's time involved. I don't care if you're on YouTube or what, there's time involved. So, okay. So Jeff, what are we doing here? How can we help you?
Jeff's causing trouble in the chat.
I can tell.
Sorry, Jill.
I'm used to running Discord. I got this. Go ahead.
I'm trying to drum up some business for Jill. So there we go. Jill, I have a community of coaches and consultants. I'm going to connect you with them. So I feel like they'd all be great clients. My big ask is if anybody knows experts in the field of diabetes, I'd love to have them on my podcast.
Okay. Experts on diabetes. I was thinking of you, Dawn. You've got so much that you're doing, and traditional medicine is great, but you understand its limitations. And so anybody you might stumble across, if you could help out Jeff, that would be delightful. He has a lot of people that can really handle that information right now. So
what about being a diabetic?
I would happily chat with you, Doreen. I'm looking to so Janine knows this, but I almost lost a finger to a hangnail infection, and I realized I need a little more information. So
Oh, wonderful.
What are you looking for, especially Jeff, on diabetes? What's the what are you looking for?
I think experts who help people. So here's my view. Traditional medicine gives you drugs to make you think you got it all handled. I'd like the people who actually work on things like reversing diabetes, treating it rather than suppressing it and pretending it's not there, if that makes
Okay.
sense.
Well, let's connect because I'm a certified natural therapist here in Montreal. So I do a lot with food as well. So let's have a chat.
Already in your calendar, my friend.
All right, beautiful.
Okay. And then Joe, you do a lot of work as well with people and mindset. And I didn't know if you had anybody in your community or if you yourself would be willing to chat with Jeff about that.
Right. Offhand at the moment, no, but certainly I make notes, and I made a note of it, keep track of it. So get back to each of you guys and ladies along that concept.
That's right. I spent enough time in New Jersey. I know guys means everybody. It's good. We're good.
Fair enough.
Okay. And then Jill, I'm coming back around to you because I promised you that I would. What can we do for you as a person and individual that since we have this amazing brain trust of people here?
A CRM tool that's free. Anybody knows of a free CRM tool? Because we don't have one, and I think I use a Monday board, but it's not quite like a CRM tool. So figured this kind of crowd might know of something fabulous out there that,
So Jeff said HubSpot, and Mark, what do you recommend?
Use Pipe Drive.
Pipe Drive?
Yes.
And
Pipe
then
Drive's got a free version and it's got a paid version.
And I've got a third one for you. If you use Gmail, Streak. Streak is a free CRM service. And we used that for probably 7 of the 8 years that we've been in business before we had to actually go to the paid version with this conference.
And the best part is it's clothing optional.
Clothing optional.
The conference or the CRM tool?
All right. Jill, I'm gonna post in the chat website to help you with some of the free top CRMs. All right.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're
Love you,
welcome.
Matt. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Okay.
I got a call in and I had a conference with a person out of the UK that is doing podcasts. And he's got a service that he's doing podcasting, and he charges the service so that you're on 24 to 48 podcasts per year. It doesn't really feel comfortable. I just wanted to get your input on people trying to get people on board with podcasting, getting them it's quite expensive. So I just wanted to reach out and say, okay, how is this working? Because this is a new thing for me, and I know that you're doing a lot of podcasting as well, Janine, and how to figure out what area to go into and how to get into it. So I just wanted to touch bases with you guys.
When I first got syndicated, that's when we got a lot of attention. And so when we were syndicated, I got hit with those probably 3 or 4 times a week. And so Tasha now screens them out of my inbox, but I don't know how many I'm getting more. I'll have to talk to Tasha. But the thing is they charge a very high number, and then they will then come back around and then ask to get me on my podcast. So when I started seeing those kind of things coming in, I'm like, okay. So I don't know this, but I don't know what group you're a part of. But before I would pay, I would have a very specific, targeted, and strategic marketing mission before I would pay the big dollar for those groups. And then realize it's going to be 3, maybe 4 months before you're going to see any kind of a turnaround from that money that's been spent. And instead, I would spend your time, like set up a timeline for yourself that you want to be on. When I'm really heavily marketing, I'm on podcasts 2 to 3 times a week. And so that's what my team does, is they go to Matchmaker and Podacity and Podcaster.fm or Matchmaker.fm, and they start hitting the podcasts that are coming up and asking to get on those shows. And so that that's what I do. And I think it will behoove you to build a team with a workflow that you consistently are always, it's a part of your calendar, you're on a podcast, you're delivering content. And that I think will behoove you more in the long run, because then your team will have this workflow and eventually you will rise to the top. And I think over the course of 5 years, you'll end up paying those people the same price that you would pay this marketing firm.
Yeah.
But you would get a lot more leverage and a lot more content. That's just my thoughts. I open it up to the room. Come on. Other people have other ideas here. Go ahead, Pete.
So I probably listen to about 50 hours of podcast a week. So I've kind of dialed into the industry, and a guy who's big on the scene the last 2 years, his name's Andrew Huberman, I think. They asked him on the Joe Rogan show, like, what do you see yourself doing in 2 years? And you know what he said? More podcasting. You can't do anything more powerful in marketing than podcast. It's just growing leaps and bounds. You just got to jump in and start. You can't wait till the world's perfect for whatever you have. Start. Progress is always better than perfection.
Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead, Doreen.
Doreen.
And as a podcaster, when I get those outreaches, it just feels so impersonal. It's like, do you know what I do?
Yeah.
And so I always put them in a file, and that's my feedback.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jeff.
I'd like to share a tiny little tip. At the end of every interview, I ask every single guest, who else do you think I should interview for the show? I never want for guests.
Yep.
And that's the magic. If you've taken the time to build a relationship with that person and you ask them that, and I had one, I'm not kidding, she gave me 32 guests.
Wow.
I have a friend who, if you haven't met Esther Deutsch, you need to. She's introduced me to 200 people since I had her on the show. So I never, ever, ever pay people to give me leads, because I want to pick who I want on my show. And I do that by getting to know the great people I have on the show. And then I ask them who else they need to meet.
Okay.
Amen to that. I had 3 people call me yesterday they had been on my podcast to give me the person that would be good. And then I had a podcast yesterday and they gave me not 1, but 3 people. I asked them for 1. You couldn't stop them.
Yeah.
It's true. And one of the things that I love doing for guests, because I understand what they're doing as well, not only are they giving me and my community their great content and wisdom, but I also want to serve them. And when I have a guest that says, are there any other podcasts that you can recommend to? I always say, come to Open Friday Coffee. I always have podcasters. If they can hear you talk, if you can share with them what you will do for their community, they'll be happy to have you on, because they'll have met you. You will have started the relationship. So that's another thing that you can do, Mark. And
okay, so
yeah.
it's really basically to get and the same thing when you're doing your networking, and it's just to be with the people that want to be that have that relationship with it. Thank you very much for the input. Thank you.
And I would ask people, who here has a podcast that's looking for a guest because I want to speak, right? And podcasters will go, I know you. Yeah, come on. I'll, and I even had one person say, it won't be aired for 6 months, but you're welcome to come on. I'm like, I'll wait. That's 6 months. That's fine. Okay. So that's something that I've always found very valuable. So good luck as you move through that. I think you'll get better results doing it organically, honestly.
Yeah, I think that's what came to me when I was talking to that person is, and Jeff's name come up as well, and there's you, and there's other things that I would like to get involved in as well. So yeah, beautiful. Thank you.
And there is a free aspect to the matchmaker.fm service, where you can just get on, and then podcasters, if they reach out to you. And what I did was I hired one of my team, and she monitors the matchmaker.fm. She handles all this messaging. I have scripts that I've written out for her on that. And even on Matchmaker, people have to come to Open Friday Coffee. So sometimes if I see somebody I don't recognize, I'll be like, hey, where do you know us from? And they're like, I was on Matchmaker and your team told me to show up because we'd like to have you on the show. Yeah.
Okay, so I understand where Yeah, it's beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to give you some workflows so
Yeah.
that you're not doing admin stuff.
Mhm.
Keep you doing what you do best.
Yes. Beautiful.
on. Okay. All right. We've got about 10 minutes. Anything else, people? What else do you want to talk about before we go? Go, Jeff.
Can I share one more little tip? Janine has taught me the power of send out cards.
You got it. Good.
And Pete, I'm gonna out you. Pete, my friend, he is ADHD, and he and I are working together. And send out cards is a great system for podcasters. I feel like it should be. Actually, I'm going to teach a course on that. It's the follow-up piece, and the magic of it is, so I do two things unique in my podcast. One, I introduce all my guests to one another. So think about the power of that. You build the network because you have a guest today. I introduce them to somebody else. That guarantees they're going to introduce me to somebody else. But the other thing is the follow-up cards. Janine has taught me this in spades. People get your card and they go, oh yeah. And they, I always have something with Janine's face on my desk, like literally, there you go. And Pete as well. He sends me lots of cards. But send out cards, it's a really low cost way to keep in touch with people. And yeah, look at Rich has got a few. I cleaned my desk off. That's actually what's behind here is my stack of cards from Janine and Pete. So, but that's a really good way to keep in touch with people because I see podcasts as a relationship building tool.
Yep.
And the cards really bring that home. So I want to say thank you to Janine for that.
The joke with Jeff for a while when we were first getting to know each other, he didn't realize how every time he had me on a show, I would send him brownies. That's what I do. If you bring me onto your show, you get brownies and a card. You get a thank you card, but you also get those brownies. So he had done something really nice. I think he had introduced me to over 28 people. He swamped out our workflow. And I actually had to tell him, stop, because I want to take care of your people. And if you keep sending me people, my team couldn't keep up with them. Okay. As he was introducing us. And so one of the things I did was I just sent him a whole pack of brownies, like the 16 pack. And so when he got that, he then shoots out on LinkedIn, I work for brownies. And if you want to know why I work for brownies, talk to Janine. And so that was one of the jokes. And then he and this other guy started getting in a competition of who could have me on their shows the most frequently and who would get the most brownies. And I had no idea this stuff was going on. I find out about it later. So these are some of the fun little games you play with send out cards in your follow-up systems. But they have managed to land me over $100,000 in contracts just because I followed up with people over the course of 2 or 3 years. So if you're interested, we can show you. It is, some people have a bad taste in their mouth with it because it's an MLM. And I'm like, I never set out to do this to team build. My goal was just to have a follow-up system. So whatever you choose to go with, do not forget your direct mail. If I can share with you one tip that is so good, is every time I get off Zoom, I'm sending a card to an individual. Sometimes I take a screenshot. If I have a thumbnail from their show or something like that, I post it up there. So those are just little helpful tips. And I know a lot of people say, oh, but it's a birthday card. And I'm like, don't do birthday cards. Do half birthdays. Like find out when their birthday is and do it the other side. And then if you don't know their birthday, this is a guaranteed, this is my favorite thing to do. I send them a birthday card on the wrong day because I don't know when their birthday is. And they reach out to me to correct me on their birthday. Oh, thanks for the birthday card. It's not my birthday. I'm like, oh, wow, I haven't talked to you. You want to come to Open Friday Coffee? Right? I mean, it's like, it's an end. So being wrong, it just serves you. So that's another tip for you guys. I hope
I
I
just signed up with send out cards as well with Ian. So it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, is it a service that does it for you? Is that how that works?
No, you do it yourself. Yeah, you do it yourself. No, it's much more intimate that way because you can actually put specific comments in there. But I have workflows that I teach people on how to do that. Go ahead, Rich.
Are you doing the actual mailing? I'm just curious.
No, you just type it in the computer. It has the CRM that is all your addresses and it ships it all out for you. So that makes it very fast. So after I get off Zoom, I just quickly go on to send out cards. Takes me less than 2 minutes because I have cards already made, pre-made, that I go and I just put the quick content in there and very personalize it and then send it off. So maybe it takes me 3 or 4 minutes. So that's why I always book 15 minutes between my Zooms so I can have time to do a card for somebody. Yeah. Go ahead, Rich.
I just wanted to say thank you because you had an intro this morning that was different from the intros I've heard before. And this one was really great in that we met your family. I've never met your kids before. You talked about them, you know, so there were 4 generic kids of yours in my head. So now I have pictures. Thank you.
You're
Thank you for that.
welcome. I had to get permission from all of my children before I'm allowed to show them because they know me about send out cards. Okay. And when they would see these cards going out and they happened to walk by one day and somebody was holding up one of the cards and it showed all of them and they're like, oh, how many people are you sending these pictures to? So now I have to get permission before I'm allowed.
It sucks when they grow up, huh?
They're all over the age of 18 now, so I have to get permission.
Signed waivers.
Yes. Yeah, it was funny. And so my one child told me this morning, because he's leaving for Virginia and we're not going to see him again until December. And I'm like, I'd like a selfie because, you know, you're leaving, blah, blah. And he goes, only if it doesn't go anywhere but your desk. And I went, okay. Go ahead, Dawn.
So I wanted to, yeah, I got it. Thank you. You guys are like, my mojo is totally swirling. Creative juices are like on fire, which is fantastic. That's why I was just like, I gotta make one of these Fridays. And when you're talking about the mailers, so again, I just signed the contract to teach just a couple classes a week in this downtown, you know, 2 light town, and it's going to be intimate. So I printed flyers and went door to door in this downtown area, and you know, just introduced myself, asked people's names, got conversations going, and this is like a lost art. So I totally appreciate the birthday cards because I have gotten a couple. Right. And it is like, I love, yeah, thank you so much. I'm glad I'm here, you guys. And I look forward to doing it again.
You are welcome. And it's one of those things that I sent cards to a gentleman every month for 3 years. And he was somebody that ended up giving me a $22,000 contract. So it's worth the time. It's a drip system. It's better than email, in my opinion, because they've got this 3-dimensional thing that they've got in their hand and they've got to figure out whether they're going to recycle it or not. And that's the favorite thing I love about the books that we do, is when you give somebody a book, it's much harder for them to throw that in the recycle bin. They're like, oh, right.
Fun fact, Janine, your envelopes also make great notepads.
Notepads. Go ahead, Doreen.
Well, during COVID, I took a lot of time to go back to doing art, and then I got busy, so I put my art away, but I've made cards out of them. And you know, Janine, I sent you a stack of,
yep, they're beautiful.
Yeah, so repurposing.
It's very, very good. Okay, so anybody else want? Oh, we're almost at the top of the hour. So real quick, you know how I love being able to give you guys kind of a send off as you get ready to go on your weekend. So people are like, oh, Janine, you're so lucky you live in the Rocky Mountains. And I'm like, lucky? Luck had nothing to do with it. I spent 20 years, and every year I would drive out to Colorado and I would dream of the day that I could own my own home in Colorado, blah, blah, blah. And it was very strategic. And I don't know why that triggered me so badly, but it did. And I just want to let you guys know, I understand how you have had to make thousands upon thousands of decisions to get to where you are in your business right now. And I just want to commend you for it. And I realize it had nothing to do with luck. It had a lot to do with blood, sweat, and tears and the kindness of strangers that have helped us along the way. If people want to say luck, I'll say having those coincidences where people come in, those synchronicities where people come in and you weren't expecting. So it was help that was unlooked for. And so I would like you to really see the Open Friday Coffee as a place that you can come to get help. And we will definitely be glad to help you stay in business. Why? Because small business now employs more people than Fortune 500 companies. Just want to let you know that. So if you're feeling the weight and pressure of what you're doing, that's why we have a lot that we're doing with this economy. And so whether you're in Canada or you are in the United States, thank you for making NAFTA strong. Okay, we'll talk to you all later. Have a great weekend, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.